Cryptic Media TV.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Cryptic coming at you once again with another video. So this one's in relation to the vaccine trials held with AstraZeneca and the University of Oxford and people getting ill off the vaccines. I know it's early stages for this vaccine, but I think the papers are playing down somewhat the fact that people are getting ill. So I've got one article from the Daily Mail and I've got the first two paragraphs of another article that I will read in a bit. It'll become relevant at the end of the video. So the title for the Mirror article is Brit coronavirus vaccine volunteer left weak and freezing hours after injection, from the 10th of September 2020. AstraZeneca was forced to halt the Oxford University-led trial after a UK participant reported possible side effects during the study, which experts hope could become available next year. A participant of a coronavirus vaccine trial has now told he suffered a headache, chills and a fever just hours after being given an anti-COVID jab. AstraZeneca was forced to halt the vaccine trial after a UK volunteer reported possible side effects during the study. The unnamed volunteer, who received his first shot in May, said, "I woke up at about 2 a.m. and I was freezing, but I had a temperature above 39 degrees. I felt incredibly weak and couldn't really get up and move, so my partner had to get me a paracetamol. The temperature continued for about a day and I just felt really weak and lethargic and couldn't do anything. The injection left him feeling so fatigued that all he could do was sleep for most of the second day," he claimed. A booster shot appointed for Monday was suddenly cancelled by email the night before. AstraZeneca said the late-stage studies of the vaccine, which experts hope could be given to the public sometime next year, were paused after the revelations. Meanwhile, a second participant in the paused coronavirus vaccine trial has said he is keen and eager to have a second dose. Lap it up, boy. Jack Summers, a 35-year-old freelance journalist from South West London, told the PA news agency he believes the Oxford University-led trial is safe. He added he is mostly just disappointed about the delay because we are all desperate for this vaccine. He said he has had his first injection in May and has since volunteered to have another dose, adding, "If I was to keel over, I would have done it by now. That's why I'm not scared of having it again." Speaking alongside Boris Johnson at a Downing Street press conference on Wednesday, the government's chief scientific advisor, Sir Patrick Vallance, said the pausing of such a trial is not unusual. He said similar stoppages should also be expected in some of the other ongoing vaccine candidate trials. Mr. Summers agreed, saying it is a statistical inevitability that at least one patient in the 18,000 on the programme will become ill at some point. He said, "This is so careful. It's run by Oxford University, it's got the government involved, and it's got AstraZeneca backing it." That don't mean a thing though, does it, really? They've already been through ferrets, mice and monkeys. Giggity! So they're about as certain as they can reasonably be that it's not going to do anyone any harm. They haven't allowed time to check if it's sterilising these mice and monkeys. This guy's a twonk, man. My sense is that anyone who volunteered in the first place will not be put off by this because you've got this appreciation of the risks. AstraZeneca's pause is a wake-up call, but should not discourage researchers, the World Health Organization's chief scientist said on Thursday. This is a wake-up call to recognise that there are ups and downs in clinical development and that we have to be prepared. Soumya Swaminathan told a virtual briefing from Geneva. "We do not have to be discouraged. These things happen. Governments are desperate for a vaccine to help end the COVID-19 pandemic, which has caused more than 900,000 deaths and global economic turmoil, and the WHO flagged AstraZeneca's been developed with Oxford University as the most promising. However, the drug maker suspended late-stage trials this week after a participant in Britain suffered health issues. It's a race against the virus, and it's a race to save lives. It's not a race between companies, and it's not a race between countries," added WHO's head of emergencies, Mike Ryan. More than 27.95 million people have been reported infected globally, allegedly. WHO epidemiologist Maria van Kerkhove said a combination of factors is helping reduce death rates in Europe, including finding cases earlier and better clinical care. "We are in a better position to prevent the virus from infecting vulnerable populations," she said, cautioning, however, that the disease's long-term effects were still not known. So I just want to read the first two paragraphs of this second article, because it looks like a second person got ill as a result of these trials. Both of the articles mention one person got ill, but the Mirror article mentions a male got ill, and the second article by statnews.com mentions a female got ill, both UK citizens. The Stat article was written one day before, so the two paragraphs are: the participant who triggered a global shutdown of AstraZeneca's phase 3 COVID-19 vaccine trials was a woman in the United Kingdom who experienced neurological symptoms consistent with a rare but serious spinal inflammatory disorder called transverse myelitis. The drug maker's Pfizer's chief executive, Pascal Soriot, said during a private conference with investors on Wednesday morning. The woman's diagnosis has not been confirmed yet, but she is improving and will likely to be discharged from the hospital as early as Wednesday, Soriot said. So, we've got a woman who has experienced rare but serious spinal inflammatory disorder, and we've got a man who had headache, chills, and a fever. So there's two separate people who have had adverse side effects to this trial. I wonder why the papers aren't mentioning in either article that there's two people who have suffered. I mean, the later written article, the one by the Mirror, should have mentioned this previous case, surely, because when you look at what it says further on down the article, it says, Mr. Summers agreed it's a statistical inevitability that at least one patient in the 1800 on the programme will become ill. So I don't know, I'm just speculating as to why they haven't mentioned it, but something strange is going on. So my thoughts is that, well, I'm sure you can guess my thoughts. I don't like the sound of this vaccine. I don't know if anyone's ever studied the polio vaccine, if anyone's ever studied the syphilis vaccines in the 70s. Some human beings have done some pretty dark stuff to other human beings, and some of these things that they've done involves vaccines. To say the least, it's dark. So if you get all these people out there who are like, oh, they're totally safe, you're just a conspiracy theorist for not wanting to take this vaccine, my advice would be, you take the vaccine, yeah, and if you can reproduce totally well, your babies are fine, you're fine, maybe then I'll take the vaccine, but until then, I'm not taking shit. So anyhow, guys, that's it for this video. As always, please let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you like the video, please like, please share, and please subscribe to my channel. It would really help me out a lot. Thanks a lot for listening, take care, and I'll speak to you all soon.